has just joined. And we are live.
Good morning, and what a lovely Sunday we are going to be having with two amazing children. And when I'm thinking about these children, the one song that comes to my mind is by Whitney Houston, and it says the words are like this: I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. But I don't think we need to do anything for these two wonderful children who are sitting here today. My God, I've got goosebumps. The beautiful and wonderful Ishan and Varun. These are our two champions who are really young kids and have had transplants, and their mind and the way they think is totally above all of us. And I want to extend a very, very warm welcome on behalf of Kidney Warriors Foundations to Ishan Anekar and Varun Anand. Welcome to this wonderful Sunday, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to start with talking about how it is, and I want you all to tell me and tell each other, how did you feel when you first realized that you needed to have a transplant?
My name is Varun, and the answer for me is that when I heard the doctor telling I needed transplant, it was very scared, like very feeling very weird or scared that I had to get a transplant. I was very senseless and not thinking about what a transplant was. I had to get a transplant, but I was very senseless and not. Then by that time, my mother came and she saved me. So it felt very scared and very weird.
What about you, Ishan?
Mine was also same as Varun, but it was kind of like what? And it was kind of like I was actually excited because after the transplant was over, means it was done, I would be free of all this in dialysis and stuff like that.
That's amazing. I mean, what a wonderful way to look at life. Now, let me tell you about Ishan, and then we're going to move to Varun as well. After his transplant, he decided that he's going to be a very avid reader and enjoy all kinds of things, and especially his journey with, say, Harry Potter and, of course, Sudha Murthy's books. So tell me, what was it about Harry Potter that you loved so much?
I find it interesting, like magic and adventure, mystery. So it's actually fun reading it. I've also read many other mystery books like and adventure like Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, Trials of Apollo.
Apollo, yes, I know. But I also do.
And there's also then Maze Runner, the Maze Runner, and I read Asking Bombs, Ramurti. There's just the list that
Wow.
goes on.
Wow, look at these kids. I do believe that you love music and you like cooking as well. So do you cook at home?
Yes.
Yeah, what is the favorite dish that you cook?
Poha.
2 boys who went on transplant. That was my patient.
Yeah.
Uma, can you please mute yourself, Uma?
Who played the
Uma ma'am? Uma ma'am?
Monica.
Thank you. All right. Sorry for that. So tell me, what was your favorite dish that you cook, Ishan?
It's like poha and paneer bhaji. Sabji. Paneer
Okay.
sabji.
So when I come to meet you, you definitely need to make me some poha. All right.
Okay.
All right, and now we're going to say a quick hello to Dr. Umali ma'am, who was here and of course was Ishan's doctor as well. So hello, Dr. Uma, welcome to our session, and I will be talking to you shortly, but I just want you to know, yeah, we've got these boys on. We've got another boy here called Varun, and we're going to talk about Varun, who is unbelievable with the kind of things that he does. He's actually represented India at the World Transplant Games in 2023 and won 3 medals. And no, they were not bronze and silver, they were all gold. So Varun, how do you manage to do this?
I just had to pull it off. It's like you say, your risk, your reward, like that. I just had to pull it off. Otherwise, it would have not been successful. Again, feeling very proud of this. I feel like a champion, and thanks to everyone, I'm just feeling very happy, especially my mother.
Tell me, sweetie, this is the first time I've heard this and I'm loving this phrase. What is your risk, your reward all about? And
Um,
where did you find this?
no, see, again, I'm a big quotes fan. Quotes in the sense like what the inspiration. I just thought, okay, now if they are creating, let me also try to create, right? So I just created like so in this quote they're familiarizing or making rhythmic. So I just thought whatever you put R and R. So your risk, your reward. So it means that if you put your risk, you'll get your reward. So I just had to pull that off. So if I did not pull it off, the medals would not be in my hand.
Wow. My God. I just can't get over the way you all speak. It's just unbelievable. So, Ishan, what do you have to say to Varun about being a 3-time gold medalist at the World Transplant Games?
I feel happy about Varun, and it's I don't know, it's kind of like a good achievement after kidney transplant.
Yes, absolutely. And Ishan, tell me something when you go to school, all right? Do people treat you differently now? Or were they different before? Did they understand your entire journey when you were on dialysis and now that you've had transplant and like other children would carry chocolates and stuff to school, you were probably carrying your immunosuppression in your bag, making sure that you're not forgetting it. So how was your community at school? Did they really support you? Did they understand you?
From the school, the teachers were really good. Means this
Hmm.
are still really good, and the school supported us during the transplant and before that, and still after the transplant. And not many of the students know about my kidney transplant. Only a few who are my best friends.
Okay. And Varun, what about you? What was your journey when you went back?
So thanks again. Thanks, Ishan, for the compliments. So same thing like Ishan said that at the beginning, when I was not feeling well, I just told to my friends only about the transplant because it had been very secretive. But again, I pulled it off, and now I am very what's called very kidney disease free. So again, the school is very supportive. They helped me because I had to you reach Delhi for a camp there for just practicing for the World Transplant Games. By the time I had exams, so my school just told you go, we will arrange everything for your exam. So again, the school was very supportive, and please just thank BVM school. They're where me and my brother study. Very great school, and I feel very proud to be on the school.
How lovely. That's absolutely wonderful. Now, between the two of you, I need both of you to tell our audience today on this lovely Sunday when we're going live with Kidney Warriors Foundation, who your donor was and how you felt about your donor.
So again, I will take the key from here. My mother, great hero, great fan. I love her. She's my idol.
Oh, darling.
No, because the one thing that I just saw before, feeling very dizzy and weird was that my mother, when the doctor told that I need a transplant in a jiffy and in a snap, she just told you, I will give the kidney, nothing else. Just be quiet. I will give the kidney. I started feeling emotional, so I just made sure she's my idol.
Oh, darling.
Actually, she's just here. I can show you.
Yes, let's meet Deepa. Hi, Deepa Ma.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
It's so lovely that you're here. And so you're basically his mother 2 times over, right? You've given birth to him twice. Now, that must be quite an amazing feeling and must be quite an amazing bond. So he grew inside you, and now you are inside him. I mean, that's just such an amazing feeling. And I always say, actually, a kidney transplant is like a pregnancy, except you don't give birth to the child. You carry the child within you. You look after the kidney like a child and make sure that it gets nutrition. Gets sure everything around that happens. So really hats off to you, Deepa. God bless you. And may more and more people be inspired. We have actually 2 mothers who are donors right now on this show. Vasundhara ma'am also was a donor to her son, and Deepa as well. And now let's ask you, Ishan, who your donor was.
My donor was my father. Uh, and when we found out that I had to do a transplant, we need to conduct a transplant. We couldn't find anyone matching with me to conduct the kidney transplant. Huh? So, uh, so my dad jumped to the rescue.
So sweet. All right. So, Anand, tell us something about your journey of being the donor. It's a very special bond that you share.
Actually, it was very nice because, practically speaking, we had the only option of doing. There is no other option, and I know that if I can make his life very comfortable after doing this, then we should do definitely. The science has given us this wonderful thing that we have two kidneys, and one we can obviously share with someone, and that to myself. So obviously, I definitely, without a second thought, it was decided that I'm going to be the donor, and I'm going to do it. I never come to with my wife asking want to speak with somebody who already donated or somebody we wanted to go somewhere to get some mind thing
Pressure.
pressure. But I said no, it's okay. I'm okay. It's not required, and I'm okay with it. We'll just go with it. That happened like this, and yeah, he's doing absolutely. That's why he was
Thank
very
God.
very happiness, pleasure that worked well. Obviously, with the blessing of all friends and the hand of Kumali ma'am was there. So she is like a mother to Patisha, grandmother. And she
Wow.
cared whatever she said, we just followed her. From the beginning when we started to go to see her Patisha and till now, whatever she's saying, we just follow that. And that happened. Yeah, to almost was getting completed in
2 years.
2 years.
Thank you. All right. Now I need to ask you all this is very nice that you all are kids and you all have gone through all these things. But there's one thing that children also do, right? And I'm sure you do because my children do that occasionally with me. Don't you all fight with your parents? And especially the parents who gave you their kidney. What is the fight like? Tell me, I need to know some normal things about what kids your age do. So tell me, do you fight with your parents? Varun, you're laughing because I think you do.
I do.
You do?
Because of water, just that one liquid.
Why do you have a restriction on what amount of water you
No,
can drink?
that's the opposite. I should drink water because I'm a kidney transplant and I need water. So if I go to sports, it's compulsory. I drink like 2 bottles after 1 hour of practice. If I don't drink, my mother will, like, you know how they say in the modern generations, right? They'll take chappal and do all that, right? So no, not that much, but she just keeps scolding me. We'll get into a lot of fights. So it's just like that. Like I fight with my mom even more than my siblings.
Okay. And Ishan, you?
Huh?
I fight with my mother and my father. Means I fight with my mother because she doesn't let me. Uh, e- she doesn't let me go down to play sometimes, and she doesn't let me watch TV. Yeah, and she always tells me, go study, go study, go study, go do some study. Yeah. Just like every day. And then I fight with my father because he tells me to do some exercise as I'm a kidney transplanted kid. And sometimes if I forget my medicines in school, we fight. Means even if I take them a little late, they tell me why can't you remember such a simple thing? Means and I forget mostly on Friday because we go down to play. At that time I have to take my medicine because we're PE on that day. So I kind of forget on that day and they still scold me.
Okay. Now I want both of you to tell me, and rather not tell me, tell the audience and tell yourselves, um, like in a very nice and short way, how you found out that you had your kidney problem and how would you advise people because you all are the people going through it. And how is your journey now with your medication? Is there something that keeps you worried or you're leading an absolutely normal life? So in a very short way, we'll start with Varun, how you found out you had it, then you had your transplant, and then you're living your life. And I want you to talk about it to Ishan. And Ishan and Varun, I want you all to talk about it to each other, and then all my questions will be answered, right? So start.
Two things. This might not get short. It's again a very long story, and yeah. So I'll just tell. So I was coming back from Chennai after one of my mother's cousin's marriage. I was just feeling very very sick and very very tired after the trip. So tired is normal. I just woke up at midnight and wanted to use my restroom. So again, here's where my dad comes. He was working late night because he had gone for a few days of holiday. I was using the restroom. Suddenly, I was about to fall down, but my dad heard the commotion, came and just saved me. Then we rushed to the hospital, and I was just unconscious. Two times I got seizures. So then after that, the doctors in RxDX, it's a hospital. They told you go to Rainbow Hospital. Now the third character comes. That's my doctor. His name is Saumil Gaur. Big round of applause for him. He's again my godfather. God, yeah, just everything. Without him, I would not be, yeah, sitting here. So then they diagnosed me with CKD, and it was at stage 5, which means I needed a transplant at any cost. Then again, now I just told the fourth character, my mother. She just came and just told in a jiffy, "You do the transplant, I will give." So that's my story. It was very sad feeling that I was senseless. I could not think of anything what I was supposed to do. Like I was thinking all my dreams are over. Now I'll just be bedridden. But again, yeah, I just saved myself from there.
Wow. Ishan?
First of all, I didn't know that I had a kidney problem, but my mother later told me about it. When I was about 2.5 years old, I had high fever. So I went to check up with a doctor. After that, we couldn't understand, but the urine report showed protein loss. So we went to Umali. So and after that, means my mother and father found I had a kidney problem, and I would soon need a kidney transplant. So, Umali ma'am had started with the immunosuppressives and medicines about when I was, since that time when we went to meet her the first time, and after that, I didn't know that I have a kidney problem till the age of I think like 10. I thought only medicines about there was something. I thought they were normal. Everyone took medicines. I thought it was normal only. Then, when I had to put the catheter for the dialysis, I found out that I had a kidney problem, and they told me at that time. So we went to the dialysis of 2 months. After that, in November, we eventually had to do the transplant, which is where my father comes in, and he gave me the kidney. And now, after the kidney transplant, I'm fine.
It's so inspiring, really. My God. I mean, I can't even imagine how much you guys have gone through and how you'll have come to this point. Is there any advice that you would like to give your fellow community people, like people who are having dialysis and people who are, have had their transplant? And the reason somebody may ask me is like, how can you ask kids to give you advice? Because actually your world is very different from ours. Because by the time we are 30, 40, 50, we've gone through life and we've got so many people's opinions on our heads. You all are still young and you all see things in a very different way. So is there any advice that you would like to give to kidney patients and transplant patients who are listening and will be listening in the future? Because this is always going to be available on our Kidney Warriors Foundation page on Facebook. So Let me know, Varun.
Again, I would just want to tell one thing. People in the world who are still having a dialysis and are about to get anything, just live your life to the fullest and do not worry, because again, if you see us, we all are living proof that we can live another life after transplant. So again, just to the people, just live your life to the fullest. Don't care, just enjoy. That's all you need to do.
That is so amazing. And Ishan?
This is to everyone out there who has had their transplant and and is in dialysis, suffering from dialysis, and it's suffering from the kidney diseases. So it's kind of like don't give up. There is always a way out of the problem, and there is a way. So you need to just take care of yourself. So as long as you can take care of yourselves, just as fine as everyone else in the world.
Okay, so that's a very positive way to look at the way you must lead your life. But honestly, from a medical perspective and from your condition perspective, the one thing that you must never do and the one thing that you must do after being a transplant patient, what would that be?
One would be to take care of yourself no matter what happens. Means if your medicines, never forget those medicines, and if you're doing a certain amount of water, you have to just put it till that extent and no more or no less, just that much. And then you should never eat like street food. Means the people unhealthy food, like the people who sell it on the roads and etc. And don't forget your medicines.
Okay. And Varun,
And
you?
they're the most important things.
Varun, one thing that you would do and one thing you wouldn't do as piece of advice to fellow transplant patients.
What I'm about to tell, for not doing, you must take it as a sarcasm and not as a sarcasm. Just take this seriously. Always drink your water. Always. And always eat your medicine. That's the thing you should always do. Because if you forget your medicine, you are in trouble.
Yes.
So now the thing you must do is always just any like whatever hobbies or skills you have, such as like for me, I like building stuff, like especially Lego.
With Lego, yes.
I like playing sports. So if whatever hobbies that you used to do before transplant, take this advantage and find anything that you could get out of competition. Like after recover, just get into competition, because what you might even get your luck, you might even get into the group. Just any advantage you have, you just take it. Like again, I'll tell another quote. It's like you are the biscuit and the opportunity is the tea. When you just dip the biscuit in the tea, it'll go away. So always remember, any opportunity you have, you just take it.
Thank you, darling. So lovely to hear all of you. A warm welcome to all of us who are actually watching this live as it goes. Thank you, people, for being on. And yes, the children are so important and they really inspire. At this point, I would like to call upon Dr. Uma Ali, ma'am. Hi, doctor, and welcome to this, the Zoom that we're having live going on to Facebook. So, ma'am, I know a patient is a patient and a transplant is a transplant, but I am sure there has to be some difference when you are operating or taking care of a child and an adult. And what is your experience in that?
Yeah, thank you, Anjali. I first must say it's a lovely program. And I just love both the boys and their spontaneous answers and positive outlook. I'll tell you the thing is how children differ from adults. There are medical causes, of course, the causes why children get a kidney failure are very different from what adults get due to diabetes, high blood pressure. Often these are children have conditions they are born with, which grow slowly increase. Sometimes they have genetic problems, sometimes they have other glomerular diseases, etc. So the conditions are different. And so because of the issue of growth, which the disease interferes with both during disease and transplant, the challenges of ensuring adequate growth, they're getting back to the mainstream studies, play like they used to or would have done had they not had a transplant. is actually a huge challenge which the children face, the parents face. And our role basically as the pediatric nephrologist is to encourage them to go forward in life, not forgetting they had a transplant, but despite it, they can participate in everything and do what they wish in life. So to remove those taboos in the mind which come from society and other, well-meaning but wrong advisors, which
Yes.
inhibit their growth, we try to put the positive attitude. But one thing I find very different, I don't deal with adults, but I do see, them. It's a very positive attitude in children and the resilience they have. Okay? The adults would worry about everything after transplant, and the
That's right.
worry and some, imaginary things that will happen in the future, which may never happen, spoils their
True.
present. And they all the time attribute we all go through periods of ups and downs in health, whether you have a kidney disease or you don't have. But they attribute every down feeling to the transplant or what they went through, feel themselves different, etc. But children bounce out of it. They're just waiting the moment they're out of the drains are removed, the catheters removed, and they are feeling okay in 7 days' time. They want to know when they can go back to school, when they can go back to play, when they can eat everything. And I think that positive attitude makes a lot of difference in the overall outcome.
Yes. No, doctor, I just wanted to also ask you another thing. What you said is so true. That's why I asked the kids what advice they would because children have not got so many other preconceived notions being planted into their head, like you said, by well-wishers and not such well-wishers. But when you see a family walk in, who is it harder to deal with? Is it the child or the parents?
It's actually the parents, because very often, sometimes, like in Ishan's case, his renal problem was diagnosed when he was 2.5 years. He was not at an age when he would understand a kidney disease, its impact, etc. All he knew is he had to go to the doctor and take some medicines. And all children go to doctors for vaccines for some fever, etc. And this was no different, except that he had to take medicines continuously. So it's not the children who often feel the impact of it, except maybe they have resistance to blood tests, resistance to taking medication, some of them. It's the parents that are difficult to deal with, because very initially it comes as a shock to them that a child can have a kidney disease because of lack of awareness. They associate kidney disease with old people on dialysis. They don't understand that there are different levels of kidney diseases and different levels of problems. So they equate all kidney diseases with kidney failure, which is not actually true. Almost 80% of pediatric kidney diseases can be treated. Some of them cannot be, but like the children very rightly pointed out, every problem has a solution.
Right.
It's not that it does not
Absolutely.
have a solution. So that to get across parents varies differently. Some parents are able to get it right away. Some need a lot of time. And often, unfortunately, they waste that time, a very good window period, by going for, other alternative treatment because of, false promises that you can live without dialysis, you can live without transplant, which, abounds in the society.
I'm so
And
glad you brought this up.
that takes them away from the path. And sometimes, unfortunately, they come back when a child is quite serious, which can be totally avoided. Like in Ishan's case, they accepted it right from the beginning. They knew this would happen one day. And they did try on their to look out what are all the best options. And then understood that this was the right path and took all the decisions at the right time. So it makes a lot of difference how the parents approach the matter.
All right. At this point, Dr. Uma, I'd like to say is that, all of us in this community are joined together because either somebody in our family has the disease, we have it ourselves, or we're donors and we're recipients. I just need you to know that the first stage of the disease, when we figure it out, is of shock and anger, and you don't want to accept it. And slowly, all that changes, and you accept it, and then you go forward. But between the anger, shock, and acceptance is a journey where people are telling you millions of things. And I just want you to know one thing, and I hate to bring it up, but I am telling you this, is that please do not believe in, I have full respect for homeopathy. I'm a homeopathy aficionado. I love it. I believe in Ayurveda. I live in the land of Ayurveda. But I just want you to know that if you have any kind of a kidney issue or any kind of a health issue, especially kidney problems, never go for an alternative therapy. The minute your creatinine has gone up above 4, talk to your doctor, get your fistula put in. Do not drink any kashayam, don't drink any things, and don't tilt your bed upside down and think you can avoid it, because these are things that actually make your disease even worse. So everybody, please remember, and I'll give you the first thing. The first disease that we're all very, very scared of is the big C, the cancer, is cancer, right? Now, if somebody told you you had to do chemotherapy or have radiation, you will jump, run, and get there because you want to live. You're not going to take some alternative therapy. You're not going to take a risk. Kidney disease is like that. It's always got a guillotine hanging on your head. You can either be on dialysis, be on transplant, get back on dialysis. But everybody watching this, please remember to spread the word. Only your doctor and your community that we all are part of knows this disease. Please do not indulge in any alternative therapies, because I have seen many people lose whatever little kidney function and then has to be rushed to hospital, and then it's poking at jugulars and lines and everything to get the first dialysis for you. All right, children, what are the things that you have got on your to-do list? Do you have a to-do list and things that you have to achieve? Ishan, I think, already has a big one, huh? With the end, or you don't? All right. Ishan, start with you, darling.
Okay. So first things first, I want to, in the to-do list, I still have two series of books to buy, and then after that, I have a school badminton competition to attend. Means I mean to win, and then after that, I want to go to Germany.
Where do you want to go?
Germany in
Germany.
2 years to the so in 2 years to the what is that?
Championship.
Championship
Kidney
of
transplant.
kidney transplant.
Okay, so what are the
Kidney
series of books
transplant.
that you want? What is the books that you want to buy?
I want to buy the Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan and Magnus Chase by Rick Riordan.
My God, Bapre Bap, what heavy names. All right, and Varun, you?
So Ishan, one more thing. I'll also be seeing you there in the World Transplant Games 2025 in Dresden, Germany. That's what you're telling, right?
Ishan is inspired by you.
Okay.
How lovely.
Thinking of going to that competition.
So again, my bucket list is to visit USA. Sadly, the 2019 transplant games was supposed to be in USA, but because of COVID, they had to postpone it. But leave that. Then my to-do list is to become a champion in all the racket sports, like a world
Wow.
champion, except transplant games like in Wimbledon, US Open, French Open, Australian Open, World Table Tennis Championships. All that. Super Smash. All that.
You all the best, and I hope all your dreams come true. Okay, now all the positivity and all the happiness, the to-do list and everything, of course, is very, very inspirational, obviously. But you need to tell me that one thing in your life, because I want this to be real for people. Is there any one sadness that you have that you'd like to talk about? Anything that keeps you sad, makes you sad in this stage of your life?
I would like to let Ishan go first.
Ishan, is there something that makes you sad, beta?
Let me think for a minute.
Wow, if you have to think about something that's making you sad, that means you don't really have many causes that make you sad. And I think that's a good thing. I mean, you don't have to pretend that you're always happy, but also it could be that, you are probably just living the best part of your life the best way you can, and you don't feel sad. And that's a wonderful place to be. What about
Yes.
you, Varun?
There are many, especially there are three sadnesses, but one thing that makes me really sad is it's like, what's it called? People suffering. Like, I just don't want to see them suffering. Especially, I got this habit from my mother because she told that if she sees me sad, then I feel sad. So I don't know. It's like what came first? Did the chicken come first or the egg came first?
The egg, right?
It's like
Yes, I
that.
know.
We don't know who's getting first sad. Like if I get sad, then my mother gets sad. Then if my mother gets sad, I'll get sad. We don't know who's getting sad.
So sweet.
So then again, it's turned
Yeah.
into comedy only. So then there's nothing. Again, there's nothing that makes me sad.
And so that's nice actually to know, because the one thing that this disease does do is actually build a community and a circle of friends and family, because everyone becomes your family, because only if you are a recipient or a dialysis patient do you understand what the other person's family is going through. So actually at a dialysis center, if I'm going with my brother, I have actually 100% faith with the person who's come with his family member or her family member to leave my brother with them and go, even if they're total strangers, because there is a bond that we share. We understand the pain of how this disease progresses compared to other people who don't understand it, and maybe because they don't want to, or because they're too scared, or they don't know how to react, right? So yes, so this whole bond that happens makes us all very sensitive. We all become extremely sensitive to other people's pain. And sometimes it's frightening because you don't know where to start, right? Isn't that what you meant, Varun? Because one thing leads to another, to another, to another. And then you're like, oh God, where am I going to go with this? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what do you normally do on a Sunday, other than, of course, be on the Kidney Warriors Foundation live on Facebook?
Basically, weekends. Okay, so you only want Sunday, right? 5
No,
a.m.
weekends.
No, I'll just tell Sunday. So from 5 a.m. I'll wake up. So and from that 5 to 8 maybe, yeah, table tennis I'll attend. So after that 9 to 10:30 badminton. Then after that till 5:30 I have break, and from 5:30 6:30 tennis, and that's on my schedule. And we might play some table tennis for practice.
Wow. Ishan?
Um, so I usually wake up from 8 to 10 during that period on a Sunday. And then after I wake up, brush my teeth and start reading.
Yes, I can see that. I can make out that you're an avid reader. Actually, both of you, it's so amazing to see today, in today's generation, that both of you all are such avid readers and opt for outdoor activities. So that means your screen time must be very less. Varun's smiling because I don't think he's got less screen time. I think he does use up a lot of screen time, right? Varun,
Yeah.
you're on the screen a lot.
No, it's not like that. Just
But I mean, whether y'all are wrong, it's a necessity today. It's not an addiction. I need to tell you all that, because we can't communicate, we can't study, we can't keep in touch. I mean, COVID has taught us that we could live this hybrid lifestyle where we can see people, suddenly you don't miss people, you can do your classes online. But in spite of all the technology around you, you two are very bookish and also very outdoor and do a lot of activities that normal children your age would probably not do. So I'm very proud of you, and I think y'all have inspired me to get back to my reading. Nejima Pannanoinike from now. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do at least 10 minutes of reading every single day of my life. And that comes from both of you. And Ishan, without knowing it or knowing it, has said that the first thing he does is brush your teeth. And that is a very important thing for all transplant patients and dialysis patients. A clean mouth means a clean system, because we cannot have bacterial and viral infections. They normally start within the mouth. So everybody remember to brush your teeth twice or thrice a day. And recently I've found out something thanks to my niece and nephew, Aditya and Miriam. It is actually a water cleaner, a water flosser. And you can brush your teeth and then use that water flosser, and you can't imagine the amount of stuff that still stays back in your mouth after a really good session of brushing. All right. Is there anything that you would like to share that you have never said to anybody in the world and you would like to say it today? No?
Oh, we already shared it.
Nothing.
So that is so lovely that you all have shared everything within each other, because sharing truly is caring. And going down Varun's road, grief shared is half and joy shared is double. So now I'm getting inspired by both you kids to think about the way I speak and what all I do. And I can't tell you, it's such a everybody who's come on to Facebook Live has just been saying, Karam says, God bless them both with good health. Bharti says, such inspiring kids. God bless them with all good health and lovely life ahead. So everybody is like so happy to be here watching all of you and hearing everything that people need to say. So I need you to know that from today onwards, you have a larger responsibility than just being the hero in your own little community. You are a hero for many people, both young and old alike, because what y'all have done, and as your parents have said and told me, is that both of y'all manage a lot on your own. You don't expect them to rally around you or come behind you or tell you what to do. Isn't that so?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
do you think your transplant made you more responsible, or were you just generally responsible children and good boys?
I don't know. It's a mix. Before transplant, it was a mix, and after transplant also was a mix. But
Like, what's the mix? Tell.
being responsible but unresponsible, like that.
Being responsible and being irresponsible. That's really cool. Okay. And Bipin also says very encouraging boys. Ishan, tell me, were you just genuinely responsible, or you were also like Varun, a mix of both?
I was a mix before transplant. During transplant also it was mixed, and after transplant it is actually um, more of me, and it is still a mix, but more of my own responsibility.
Okay. What is the song that you listen to every day nowadays? It's on loop for you, Ishan.
It's actually two, no, three,
Hmm.
sorry. It's one is takeaway, second one is before you go, and the third one is him for the weekend.
Oh, I love Him for the Weekend. I'm going to tell you a story about Him for the Weekend. Don't go anywhere. Varun, what is the songs that are playing for you on loop?
I only have two songs on loop. It's Hukum, you guys know, right? From Jailer.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, right. And one more thing, it is Wake Up. It's a song. It's
Yes,
explicit.
that's right. Lovely.
And like I don't know the name of the song, but yeah, it's what's it called? Yeah, Believer. Imagine Dragons. I love that song.
Imagine, I love it too. So I have to tell you, I'm also a real Rajni fan. And one of the, I mean, other than Hukum, my favorite song is that song from The Boss. Ti, a roja, 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 dalapati. I just love it. And Ishan, I have to tell you, my brother was going through dialysis in Cochin, and I get a call from my friend, and I couldn't hear very well because Lakeshore Hospital, and you know how dialysis centers are, right? You normally don't get enough range. And she said, Anjali, I was in the lift with Chris Martin. And I am like, who's the singer of Coldplay? And I said, what are you doing in the lift with Chris Martin? And did you take a photograph? She said, no. They had come to shoot Him for the Weekend in the October, I think September, October of 2015. And that's how, all the people from India, Sonam was also in that, Beyonce was also in that, but those shots were taken. So actually, Him for the Weekend was in Amchi, Mumbai, most of the shooting for that song. Yeah.
And like one more thing is like I like Anirudh Ravichandra songs. It's very
Oh, yes, I do too. My God. I love, and the one series, who's your favorite actors, by the way?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That's all. From US,
Whoa.
it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Tom Holland. So I'm a big Spider-Man fan, Marvel.
I can see that.
And from India, it is Mohanlal and what is it called? Yeah, Rajnikant.
Okay. And you, Ishan?
From it's same as Varun from it's Tom Holland and Akshay Kumar.
Oh, wow. You're an Akshay Kumar fan. Lovely.
So
Is
one story I would like to share with everyone is I don't know if you guys know, if you are from Mumbai, you would know this Kokilaban
Eleven.
Dana Ambani Hospital. I went
Yes.
there for a show there. Not a show, basically just like a felicitation. Anupam Kher, that actor, he felicitated us, and
Yeah.
you must see that actually. It is their Times of India, the organ drive, they have sponsored
I
it.
saw it. I saw it. I was very proud of both of you and everybody who
Also
was
seen. I also had seen it, Varun.
Yes, thanks.
So now the next thing that you both should do, both you boys, is that you should actually make a trip to meet each other.
We are going to do that in 2025, right?
Hey, 2025 and apart next year.
Ma'am, you told me how to meet, so
Next
in
year.
2025.
No, before that, you all should meet and become good friends. And maybe we should all meet together.
Okay.
Where?
Then we'll meet in
We'll
a
make-
good place. Summer
Where is
holidays
there?
we'll meet.
Yeah, come to Cochin. Be
Oh,
my guest.
yeah, perfect time. You come in December. Then.
Cochin.
Yeah,
December we will come there.
come. I'm very happy to have all of you. We'll be so, so happy.
There'll be
And
another surprise there.
it's such an exciting feeling to finally meet people that you've seen on Zoom and Facebook and on our lives. And then when you finally meet them, you feel like you've known them all your lives. And that's how I feel. So I would really, really like to thank first Vasundhara ma'am for asking me to do this morning. It's just been the best way to have started my Sunday, spend my Sunday. I don't think I'm feeling as sad as I was when I started, because you boys have inspired me, and your parents, especially, you know, Deepa and Anand and Mansi. I can't tell you, your amazing parents that you are, to live every day thinking about, my God, my son is going through this. But the positivity I see on your faces is that you all are really not worried, because you believe that you all can have a good and normal life. And that is so important. Thank you, Uma ma'am, for coming in and telling us how things are different for children compared to adults. And it's overwhelming to see such spontaneity and rodeva for life, how all of you are just bubbling with enthusiasm and not just sitting there and crying. And I always say, we've got such mundane problems, but after seeing y'all, truly inspired, truly got my own to-do list, and make sure I do things like you. Varun, on a Sunday, you get up at 5. My God, fabulous.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anjali, thank you for involving me. I have one interesting thing to share. I love
me,
the
ma'am.
t-shirt which Ishan and his father wore on the first transplant anniversary. It
What was
had
that?
it had both the picture and said, "Kidneys are meant to be shared."
Oh,
And I thought that was brilliant, you know. So that
that
was a
is
very
so
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Where do you get that
we
idea
have-
from?
Yeah, we have celebrated the first kidney transplant anniversary last year, and for that we had a small party get together here in Thane with all our families and friends who were been with us during this journey. And that thought come in my wife Mansi's head that we should do something like that. So we have printed these T-shirts, one for Ishan as a recipient, and message the kidneys are meant to be shared, and one for me as a donor, and we have printed that here locally only. We have already. So you can see this.
Oh, that is so cute. Lovely.
Right, this is a symbol of
White kidney.
How lovely. That's fabulous. Thank you. So really, thank you, everybody.
Ishan.
So
Similarly for
sweet.
Ishan as well.
Ishan, you've got the same thing. So
Bye.
it's just been
By the
Pardon?
way, it's my ninth, like not now, but this year it has May has all been completed, so it's my ninth anniversary.
Wow.
Fourth.
Yeah, you had your transplant at 9, and
2019.
now
2019. Just
yes, so you were 9 years old. I'm going to say hello to Mujahid Bhai and Bharti and Srinivasan sir and Bipin and Baishaki, who've all joined us on this live. It feels so good that all of you take time out. The good thing about any live on Kidney Warriors Foundation page is that it's there for posterity. People can go back and visit the page. Y'all can go back and visit it and see how y'all did and how, when you go back years later, it'll feel very nostalgic. Thank you for this opportunity. A note to everybody else: be an organ donor if you can while you live, but make sure you're definitely an organ donor after your time, because you can save up to 8 lives and a lot more. So many people are in the waiting, and only if you're part of this community do you realize how desperate that wait can be. So let's all pledge to be organ donors with or without life, right? Because that's the only way we can enhance life. Have a wonderful Sunday and have a wonderful week ahead. God bless you, and thank you for the inspiration, Ishan and Varun. Thank you, Vasu ma'am, and thank you, Dr. Uma.
And before
Vasu, any?
Thank you so much for inviting us, me and Ishan, on this lovely Sunday morning. It was being very nice. We always thank you, Uma Ali ma'am, our teachers in school, and our friends and family for this. Thank you so much, you also, for being a very wonderful host.
Thank
You
you.
take it very nicely. Whatever required from the kids, you have just correctly pointed out and took us the whatever which helped
Thank you.
other community members to in their lives. Yeah.
And before we end this broadcast, I would just like to tell one thing. From this year, from last year, all the places that I went, which they're calling me for, I noticed one thing: they're always promoting organ donation. So I want to tell to everyone in the world, just make sure we keep promoting organ donation, so humanity can itself live. So again,
Well said.
I want to thank you, my teachers, my family, friends, everyone, especially my school and my coaches, which are tennis, table tennis, and badminton. So I just wanted to thank them all for this great opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, darlings. And Vasu ma'am, any closing remarks from you?
It's a pleasure to see all of you, the young people, and thank you, Anjali, for taking time out today.
I'm so happy I could do this because of all the kind of commotion around my house.
No, it really brought out the whole thing, like how Anand said. You brought out all the topics that were really close to their heart. So I just thought that if I had done this, it would not have been as. And I'm so grateful that you could find.
No, I think these kids would rock wherever they are. So, honestly.
Thanks a lot.
Take
care and bye-bye, all of you.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful week ahead and keep in touch via WhatsApp, and let's keep meeting each other as soon as possible, right? Thank you, everyone who joined us on Facebook. Lots of love. Have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week ahead. And this is me, Anjali, actually, and back on the Kidney Warriors Foundation. It's been just the nicest part of my day today. Lots of love. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll meet in 2 years.
No.
We'll meet in 2 years.
Bye.
We'll meet in 2 years. Bye-bye.